All right, today we're going to do our first example of graphing rational functions. So we're going to start with f of x equals 10 over x plus 3. Just like we've been practicing, we're going to look for the x-intercepts, the vertical asymptote, and the horizontal asymptote or slant asymptote. In this case, since the numerator is 10, there's no way for the numerator to ever equal 0, so there's going to be no x-intercepts. Remember that a vertical asymptote comes when the denominator equals 0. In this case, if x were negative 3 plus 3 would equal 0. So x equals negative 3 is going to be the vertical asymptote. For the horizontal asymptote, we think about the end behavior. If we were going to zoom all the way out and x were really, really, really big or really, really, really negative. In this case, since there would be no value of x in the numerator, this denominator would just be getting larger and larger and larger and larger. And we all know that 1 over huge equals tiny. So the horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals 0. If you have a piece of graph paper, this would be a great time to use it. If not, you can deal with what you have. All right, so now the best thing we can do, just like we did for sine and cosine, is to start by putting in our asymptotes. So with sine and cosine, they weren't asymptotes, but they were guidelines, so it's a similar idea. So our vertical asymptote is that x equals negative 3. So I'm just going to draw a little guide dashed line at negative 3. And then our horizontal asymptote is at y equals 0. So I'm just going to draw a little dashed line guide at y equals 0. Now the only thing, so you can see this, I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, refocus, great. So now the only thing is we just don't know if our curves are up here or down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look back at our equation. All right, and we know that we need to figure out what's happening on either side of x equals negative 3. So we just say to ourselves, if x were greater than negative 3, and we can pick any number, let's say 0. So if x were 0, then we would have 10 over 0 plus 3, which is 10 over 3. And really all we need to worry about is the fact that it's positive. So since 10 over 3 is positive, we know that that part of the graph is going to be positive. I'll just go and sketch it in right now. Again, this is more of a sketch, doesn't have to be perfect. And now, I can probably assume it's going to be over here, but let's just check. If x were less than negative 3, and you can pick any number you like right here that's less than negative 3. Let's pick negative 5. Then I would have 10 over negative 5 plus 3. This denominator is going to be a negative, and we know a positive divided by a negative is going to equal a negative. Again, I don't actually care about what value it is, just the fact that it's negative lets me know that the second part of the curve is going to be negative, or in this little section here. At some point we'll learn more about the stretch and the shrink from the center, but for now, this is the perfect sketch to do.